Well, hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. This is intermediate music theory video number 9, and we're going to cover augmented chords. We're going to get some color chords in there, talk about how you can justify them, or you don't have to justify them at all, but in a music theory, written sense or whatever, you might want to have a little bit of ability to justify it and understand how they work, what sounds good with them, what might not, or that you don't care and you're going to use it anyway. So the first thing I'll say is in harmonic minor, where you raise the 7th, you have a natural augmented chord happen once you do that. Why is that? What is an augmented chord? An augmented chord is stacked major thirds. So it's a major third and a major third. So major third, and in a major chord, we know it should be major third, minor third, and you get that sound. In this case, we're gonna have a major third and a major third, and you get that sound. Okay? And that's an augmented chord. Augmented means to augment something means make it bigger. So if you were to take, that minor third, the top half of your major chord, you augment that third, you make the space bigger. The major third, there you go, it's augmented. So in the case of taking a minor key and augmenting the 7th, making it a harmonic minor, you've got now on a guitar you can already see the 3 chord is augmented. You can kind of visibly see that, like, oh, that used to be over there, now it's there. Now there's some old rock song that uses that chord progression. I can't for the life of me remember what it's called right now or anything. Not a big deal. It's just, it is out there. Now, in this case, you're hanging out on your major chord, your 3 chord, and you make it augmented. That's one way you could do it. You just move it up, augment it, go back. It's a nice little resolution. Or you can use that augmented chord in your chord progressions. Now, the thing about an augmented chord that's kind of a pain is finding a bar chord for it if you're a guitarist. Now, if you're playing piano or anything, you just need to know major third, major third. It happens on the 3 of harmonic minor, and then you can add it in this stuff. Now, for this case, playing guitar, we gotta find, how do we turn this fella? Because that should happen right there if we're playing in G minor. How do we turn that guy into an augmented chord? 1, 3, 5. So the 5th of the chords what raises up in this context. Right? There it is. Now, this chord is a 7th chord. It's a major chord with a major 7th. We're raising up that 5th. So you do have a major 7th in there. So it's got a little extra color, but that's okay. So that's our 1 in a minor chord with a minor 7th. There's your augmented guy. They sound interesting in a way. Now, I don't particularly prefer them in that way. as part of a key. I prefer them as a passing chord. Now, it's just important you know that in harmonic minor, one does exist, and you can use it however you want. The way I prefer to use it, let's just take a normal key like G major, my favorite key. Let's go look at the 3 chord. And let's briefly, for a second, pretend that that's just the 1 chord of a minor key, because it's a minor chord with a minor 7th. Now just go with me for a second. This is a little deeper theory, but stick with me. We're going to use it as a passing chord, that augmented. See, it hands you off down to the next chord. It works really well that way. And the justification for it actually is the raised 7th of either a harmonic minor or melodic minor. However, you're not thinking of that note as a different note. In this context, it would be a B flat. Well, we're already in G major using a B, okay? There's the B flat. Well, the same note to B flat is A sharp. They're enharmonic. They're the same note. So a raised 7th of the B would be an A sharp. So you're handing off to an A sharp, but enharmonically pretending it's a B flat, making this augmented chord. So that's the justification in there, is that enharmonically that raised 7th is the same as the flat 1. They're the same note sonically, okay? And then you get this beautiful passing sound. You can hear it heading down. Now, the diminished chord, right, heads up. It wants to go up. These augmenteds, in my opinion, want to go down. Now, what's interesting, so before I say what I was just about to say, let's wrap that up quick. You're just flatting the 1 of a minor chord to get an augmented shape. But it also, in this case, has a minor 7th. And when you drop that, you end up with an augmented chord with a major 7th, because this 7th is that note too. So all those things kind of happen at the same time. You augment the chord and you augment the 7th by nature of where that root goes. And you get this passing chord. Now, real quick, let's go back to discussing that augmented chord that happens in a minor key. What's interesting about that is the 2 chord in a minor key is your diminished chord. There's your 3 chord. However you want to do that. I mean, right now I'm doing the augmented. There it is in its natural state. And then you've got that diminished there that wants to go up here. So now you've got this really funky change if you choose to use the augmented for your 3. And that was 6, or 1 technically, because we're in minor. Augment that chord down, which is weird. Augment it down, even though you know it's bigger, which gets a little weird to think about. And then you go down to that 5 chord, where it's 5 and you know, 5 in the original key. In this key, it's in the minor, it's the 7 chord. Go up to that wonky 3, up to the new 5, back to 1. And that would all be in harmonic minor, because in harmonic minor, you also gain that dominant chord. So anyhow, that stuff gets a little deeper, but that's augmented chords and kind of their justification and how you would make them. If you're reading a piece of music, say jazz music, and it's got, you know, the chord numbers like a 4, it's a Roman numeral, big Roman numeral for a 4, that means it's a major chord. If it's got a little plus sign up next to it, the plus means augmented. Anyhow, that's all I'm going to cover on augmented chords right now. This video got a little long, but it's kind of complicated, especially when you get into the enharmonic thinking of like, oh, flat 1 and raised 7 are the same note, so I can kind of steal it to do some nifty stuff. Have a wonderful day. You're going to do awesome.